Being a lower budget Xfinity team is hard enough, but for some it would be utter hell for a lot in 2021. From not getting the purse money they needed to taking out their own drivers for a driver who was sponsored to help fit the bill. They were truly surviving on little. These are the $4,500 Xfinity teams of 2021. So, where do we start? Just like in 2020, 36 starters were allotted for each race. But with so many part time teams in the sport, NASCAR raised the Xfinity starting field from 36 to 40. This gave any part time team the chance to race without having to worry about qualifying. But sadly, it would come at a cost, as the owner points would only pay full purse money to the top 36. 37th through 40th would get just $4,500. The same rule would be followed into 2021, even though NASCAR did announce that 7 of their 33 races would have practice and qualifying. Those 7 races would have just the allotted 36 starters, while the other 26 would have the inclusion of the $4,500 teams. It was very crucial to stay inside that top 36, but everyone wondered why it was just $4,500 and so low. Luckily, with the help from some crew members and NASCAR media people, we were told why. Although 40 starters were allowed, the Xfinity TV contracts would only pay the top 36 teams and owner points the full purse money, while the 37th through 40th got the $4,500 that would come from NASCAR. The difference between 36th place money to 37th could sometimes be $15K a race. And with that, how competitive the lower budget teams are, this would fluctuate every week. So it was very crucial for a lot of these teams to stay inside that top 36. Now, to get the full look of how this affected a lot of the teams, let's look at all 27 races that included the $4,500 cars and see who it affected the most. Let's go. Race number 1 at Daytona was originally supposed to be a practice and qualifying race, but with qualifying rained out, this allowed the 4 extra cars to show up. 37 through 40th in the field would be the 66 of Timmy Hill, the 90 of Cesar Baccarella, the 26 of Brandon Godovic, and the 23 of Jason White. Timmy would go on to finish 20th, Cesar would go on to finish 12th, Brandon would go on to finish 8th, and Jason would go on to finish 10th. Race 2 at the Daytona Road Course would feature a very surprising entry in the $4,500 bracket. Number 1 of Michael Annett, the 0 of Jeffrey Earnhardt, the 17 of Cody Ware, and the 36 of Alex Labbe. Annett would go on to finish 15th, Earnhardt would go on to finish 30th, Cody Ware would go on to finish 25th, and Labbe 22nd. Race 3 at Homestead featured the 17 of J.J. Yaley, the 74 of Bailey Curry, the 0 of Jeffrey Earnhardt, and the 13 of David Starr. Yaley would go on to finish 12th, Curry would go on to finish 35th, Earnhardt 22nd, and Starr 21st. Race 4 at Las Vegas featured David Starr, the 0 of Jeffrey Earnhardt, the 15 of Colby Howard, and the 74 of Bailey Curry. Starr would go on to finish 29th, Earnhardt 19th, Howard 20th, and Curry 22nd. Race 5 at Phoenix featured the 52 of Greg Galding, the 15 of Cody Ware, the 13 of Larice Hezemans, and the 74 of Bailey Curry. Galding would go on to finish 27th, Howard would go on to finish 16th, Hezemans 31st, and Curry 7th. Race 6 at Atlanta would feature the number 5 of Matt Mills, the 52 of Greg Galding, the 36 of Alex Labbe, and the 13 of Chad Fincham. Mills would go on to finish 34th, Galding would finish 36th, Labbe would finish 17th, and Fincham 39th. Race 7 at Martinsville would feature the number 6 of Ryan Vargas, the number 5 of Matt Mills, the 52 of Greg Galding, and the 13 of Matt Jaskell. Vargas would finish 40th, Matt Mills would finish 33rd, Galding 21st, and Jaskell 28th. Talladega, race 8, would feature the 52 of Greg Galding, the 6 of Ryan Vargas, the 5 of Matt Mills, and the 13 of Jason White. Greg Galding would finish 34th, Vargas 30th, Mills 25th, and White 39th. Race 9 at Darlington would feature the number 5 of Matt Mills, the 6 of Ryan Vargas, the 52 of Greg Golding, and the 13 of Matt Jaskol. Mills would finish 40th, Vargas 27th, Gray, Golding 38th, and Matt Jaskol 34th. Race 10 at Dover would feature Ryan Vargas in the 6, the number 5 of Matt Mills, the 52 of Gray Golding, and the 13 of Matt Jaskol. Vargas would finish 25th, Matt Mills would finish 27th, Gray Golding would finish 31st, and Matt Jaskol would finish 39th. Race 11 at Circuit of the Americas had no $4,500 cars. Race 12 at Charlotte also featured no $4,500 cars. Race 13 at Mid-Ohio featured the 74 of Bailey Curry, the number 90 of Preston Pardis, the 52 of Gray Golding, and the 31 of Josh Berry. Curry would come home 37th, Pardis would come home 25th, Golding 17th, and Berry 8th. Race number 14 would feature the 61 of Matt Jaskol, the 74 of Bailey Curry, the 52 of Gray Golding, and the 31 of Jordan Anderson. Jaskol would finish 27th, Curry 40th, Golding 38th, and Anderson 34th. Race 15 at Nashville did not feature any $4,500 cars. Race 16 at Pocono featured the number 90 of Laurice Hesmans, the 31 of Josh Berry, the 74 of Jesse Iwuji, and the 52 of Joey Gase. Hesmans would finish 27th, Berry 9th, Iwuji 31st, and Gase 36th. Race 17 at Road America would feature no $4,500 cars. Race 18 at Atlanta would feature the 0 of Jeffrey Earnhardt, the 47 of Kyle Weatherman, the 74 of Bailey Curry, and the 52 of Greg Golding. Earnhardt would finish 22nd, Weatherman 32nd, Curry 34th, and Golding 35th. Race 19 at Loudon would feature the 07 of Joe Graf Jr., the 47 of Kyle Weatherman, the 74 of Dawson Cram, and the 52 of Spencer Boyd. Graf Jr. would finish 24th, Kyle Weatherman 19th, Dawson Cram 35th, and Boyd 33rd. Race 20 at Watkins Glen would feature the 47 of Kyle Weatherman, the 61 of Stephen Light, the 74 of Bailey Curry, and the 52 of Dave Smith. Weatherman would finish 34th, Light 28th, Curry 32nd, and Dave Smith 33rd. Race 21 at the Indy Road Course did not feature any $4,500 race cars. Race 22 at Michigan featured the 15 of Colby Howard, the 61 of Bubba Wallace, the 74 of Bailey Curry, and the 52 of Greg Golding. Howard would finish 25th, Wallace would finish 9th, Curry would finish 34th, and Golding would finish 27th. Race 23 at Daytona would feature the 15 of Colby Howard, the 07 of Joe Graf Jr., the 74 of Tim Vines, and the 52 of Spencer Boyd. Howard would finish 26th, Graf Jr. would finish 35th, Vines 29th, and Boyd 38th. Race 24 at Darlington would feature the number 90 of B.J. McLeod, the 47 of Kyle Weatherman, the 74 of Carson Ware, and the 52 of Gray Golding. McLeod would finish 22nd, Weatherman would finish 34th, Ware 31st, and Golding 40th. Race 25 at Richmond would feature the 07 of Joe Graf Jr., the 47 of Kyle Weatherman, the 74 of C.J. McLaughlin, and the 52 of Akinori Ogata. Graf Jr. would finish 31st, Weatherman 15th, McLaughlin 40th, and Ogata 34th. Race 26 at Bristol featured the 90 of Spencer Boyd, the 07 of Joe Graf Jr., the 74 of Bailey Curry, and the 52 of Greg Golding. Boyd would finish 31st, Graf Jr. would finish 17th, Curry 38th, and Golding 18th. Race 27 at Las Vegas featured Bailey Curry in the 15, the 90 of Spencer Boyd, the 74 of CJ McLaughlin, and the 52 of Carson Ware. Curry would finish 13th, Boyd would finish 25th, McLaughlin 32nd, and Ware 31st. Race 28 at Talladega would feature the 07 of Joe Graf Jr., the 90 of Cesar Baccarella, the 74 of CJ McLaughlin, and the 52 of Joey Gase. Joe Graf Jr. would finish 10th, Baccarella 32nd, McLaughlin 36th, and Gase 15th. Race 29 at the Charlotte Road Course would feature the 61 of Austin Hill, the 90 of Preston Pardis, the 52 of Spencer Boyd, and the 74 of Greg Golding. Hill would finish 18th, Pardis 7th, Boyd 31st, and Golding 40th. Race 30 at Texas would feature the 07 of Joe Graf Jr., the 15 of Bailey Curry, the 52 of Joey Gase, and the 74 of CJ McLaughlin. Graf Jr. would finish 26th, Curry 17th, Gase 30th, and 35th for McLaughlin. Race 31 at Kansas would feature the 15 of Bailey Curry, the 07 of Joe Graf Jr., the 52 of Joey Gase, and the 74 of Greg Golding. Curry would finish 16th, Graf Jr. would finish 29th, and Joey Gase would finish 40th. Greg Golding would finish 39th. Race number 32 at Martinsville would feature the 66 of David Starr, the 07 of Joe Graf Jr., the 52 of Spencer Boyd, and the 74 of Mike Harmon. Starr would finish 24th, Graf would finish 15th, Boyd 30th, and Harmon 39th. And at the final race at Phoenix, there were no $4,500 race cars. Now let's look at the $4,500 race cars by appearance. Out of 27 races, the car that appeared the most was the 52 of Jimmy Means Racing. 23 races, which equals just $103,500. Next was the 74 of Mike Harmon Racing, which appeared in 20 races, getting $90,000. Behind him was the 13 of MBM Motorsports in 8 races, getting $36,000. Featuring in the same amount of races was the 90 of DGM, 7 races for the 15 of JD Motorsports, $31,500. 6 races for the 07 of SS Greenlight Racing, $27,000. 5 races for both the BJ McLeod 5 car and Mike Harmon Racing 47 car, equaling $22,500. 4 races each for the JDM 0 car and 6 car, totaling $18,000. 4 races for the 61 MBM Hattori Racing car, again totaling $18,000. 3 races for the Jordan Anderson Racing 31 car, totaling $13,500. 66 for MBM Motorsports and the 17 for SS Greenlight Racing Rick Ware, 2 races each, $9,000. 36 of DGM Racing was also at 2 races, $9,000. And Sam Hunt Racing, RSS Racing, and Junior Motorsports all had 1 race for $4,500. In total, 18 cars among 14 different teams got just $4,500 at least once this season. Some suffered more than others, but either way, 2021 was a rough season for a lot of the backmarker teams and even some winning ones as well. Here's to hoping that with qualifying coming back full-time in 2022, we will never have to see the $4,500 cars again, and each team can get the purse money that they deserve. Thank you guys for watching Surviving on Little, the $4,500 Xfinity cars of 2021. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like, subscribe for more, and we'll see you all real soon. So long, guys.